And the conclusion is, and this has been agreed upon by the emissaries, um, and or rather, I should, since some of you are the emissaries, this is sort of the question whether you agree or not. But what the Avix emissary and the Thrall and the Luca, the Scrang have agreed to this. The Esau have agreed. In fact, they even suggested it. The Voir, who were a block with the Esau, are pissed off and arguing. They don't like it. And the agreement is, you know what? Since the Hiver's emissary role has not been actually exterminated, and since the Esau's emissary's role has not been eliminated, um, that the memory of those individuals has been immortalized, for posterity in our recordings. So, you know, let's just say no blood, no foul, and move on. And the
Kyber agrees.
Kyber agrees.
I was like, okay.
The Voir are the dissenting voice, but you know what? They seem to be the dissenting voice to everything. So, even among themselves. So, this is kind of taken as par for the course that, okay, so they don't agree, but you're only half a delegation anyway, so what? And what is Dukin's thoughts on this? The Thrall seem uh, the Thrall you have dealt with they seem edgier. The Thralls seem edgy. The SN and the Senes have come to further conclusions, and the Thralls seem much edgier and are not that interested in sharing, smells with you like they were before. So,
I can't blame them. This went sideways fairly fast, so any kind of goodwill I could see it kind of go out the window. I'm still very curious about the Luca.
Excellent.
That's where Dukin's
okay, but at the moment
is,
you're
right. Everybody's like looking like over here. It's like, look at the Scrang, look at the Scrang. Right. Those guys are jerks. Those guys are way too quiet over there.
You mentioned that last time, and you've got kind of a point.
Yeah.
So in the fullness of time, we'll see what you do about that, because right now I'm staying with you in terms of at least keeping an eye on Hiver, because Hiver seems to be capable of who knows what when. And then let's not forget our quiet, thoughtful, observant, non-combatant type Avix. So Kixicole is with the other Avix at the base of the Avixes. Aves, anyway. And so the communique arrives, and the Nisa Nalotol is very pleased. This is exactly what she had agreed. The Esau had suggested it, and they were one of those who were nominally the most harmed. So Nisa Nalotol, despite her brush with death, treats the whole thing as kind of a win. We have to get over this, even foolishness on the parts of these delegations isn't going to stop our grand mission here. So at the moment, there is quite a there's quite a buzz among the Avixes. This is not what most of them expected. Olmec certainly did not expect this. Olmec was kind of looking forward to somebody being made an example for peace. Right, and is the culture is kind of big on standing up for what's right, and how is this standing up for what's right? That's so there's some AVIX private AVIX discussion, and so if you want to have an opinion or if you want to just stay out of the discussion, it's up to you. But certainly the way forward is the next is the next step, the next question.
I can say that I certainly share his opinion. They basically found the culprit, which means there should have been an action connected to this. So, but I'm not going to make any big thing about it. I'm more interested in how do we continue. There are still groups that I haven't made contact with, at least 3 of them. What am I supposed to do next? Should I try to contact Luca? Should I stay here, close? Should I try to figure out a little bit more about the Scrang?
The
role?
They actually there's actually a bit of discussion. Nisa Nalotl is very interested in all of your findings, and we might even get a look at the interface between your brain and your record keeping, right, as it is spread out across the room in a or across screens or something like that. But the whole the question then, because basically the answer is you certainly said something that made a lot of sense. Your interaction with Devoir turned out to be absolutely critical, and you showed your exceptional talents at at these interactions, and certainly then it would only make sense to have some kind of direct interaction with the Scrang. Basically, it's look, if it's going to be like this with these people, let's have them as close as possible.
I would also recommend to have somebody close to the wall at all times, because they aren't unable to make decisions.
Aha. Okay. Or rather, they make too many of them and act upon them. Right.
Which is the same thing in my world.
So in that case, that will be the case. Omak has gotten along rather well with Devoir so far, so he will be the main person for that. As far as the Scrang are concerned, it's information sharing. The risky suggestion is that you go and you share with the Scrang every detail of what you learned about that event. That's they're going for a whole openness approach here. We have this on you. We could use this for propaganda and everything, but we're not doing that. It's over. We're not doing that. Omak, hearing your mission, looks kind of dejected. Looks like he's going to protest, and then realizes he can't. And he looks up at you and kind of gives the, bye-bye. Farewell. Now, so we are. Let's go see what it's like over at the Hivers. I'm curious.
Hivers. I imagine it to look, like basically it's been repurposed. So whatever is here, you can still see the structure, but it's got that kind of shiny, moist tightness, like secretions on the wall.
Right.
and it's incredibly claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Because we just need enough room to move and to do stuff. So every surface here has a purpose. So there are new broods being, like honeycombed.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And there's probably like a place where we put the communal mulch to either be taken to feed or to build new things. And yes, it is very wet in here.
Actually, this sounds kind of like Mercap, like Dukin, This sounds great now that I think about it, right? It's full of goop and there's smells and this stuff keeps getting new stuff stuck in it and
all this mulching.
Yeah.
So yes, we are. So basically, I take whatever we have of him to whatever drone that can process this into a mulch to make a liquid or some kind of juice to be put into one of the brood chambers to change one of the drones or one of the
I think that the mulchiness, the true the alpha stew is going to be on a lower elevation because that means that pipes go up and then those bulge into like spherical transparent shapes, and then that's where chemical reactions occur and maybe the vapors go up and condense in a higher one and then that's what gets piped. You see what I mean? But different pipes have different processes. Like one vents the vapor out and squeezes the sludge, or the sludge gets pulled out right then and used. Another one, that stuff just gets burned because it's the vapor that needs to go up and condense, right? It depends on the pipe.
So it's like a big distillery of biomatter.
Yeah,
so
distilleries and other, other sort of processing.
Compost.
Yeah. And so basically, those pipes are all going up in places and then going to places. So
So probably takes care of heat. Probably takes care of a lot of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming Dukin is here. So Hiver Dukin, make yourself comfortable. Since you are now Hiver, this is Hive. It's Hiver Dukin hungry.
Oh no, Dukin probably found a corner underneath, all the activity where stuff is dripping down and kind of made a little nest. And kind of sits in it, and probably kind of glows in the darkness a little bit, and seems pretty happy with this whole situation. It's like
wow, it's like Dukin made their own little incubarium there to hang out.
Is Hiver Dukin brooding? Is Hiver nesting to brood?
No brooding. Just in my own way. Through my mind and my thoughts, always creating thoughts. But no, I approve of the hybrid way of life thus far. But I would like to wander out of the hive and perhaps do some more exploration.
As far as to see what's down below?
Oh, that as well. But exploration of others' minds. What are they thinking? What are their motives? What realities are they currently living in?
Propagate the hive. That's what all hives do. That's what the Dukin hive or the Mercat hive is.
Yeah, we're creating our own hive, our own society, or another branch of the hive. But I don't quite understand if they want to propagate the hive as we do. Don't appreciate the hive mind, as it were. I feel a little bit on their own thing. I don't know if they're into mulching. So not in a productive way, anyway.
Yeah.
But
for a long time.
See the other ones, the Avix, the Luca, others I've not spent much time with. I'd like to go and perhaps go see what they're up to.
I'll, take care of my duty, drop off like the juice. And yeah, there's probably stuff just crawling over everyone here because there's some drones going this way, drones going this way, and you're just kind of
No, I
moving
get
through and
that.
stuff is crawling over you. And,
I get that. Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
However, there are other full bore hivers like you there too, right? Probably not that many, but some.
Yeah, there's probably security drones.
Mhm.
Like there's definitely like a class system here, and I'm the apex predator of types of those types of drones. But there's probably like security drones that aren't as menacing as I am. But yes, absolutely, which they can be uplifted by repurposing through like mulching and stuff like that.
Well, it's
And
going to be an
bioengineering.
interesting question as whether Dukin is going to be perceived as some sort of infection, or whether you just brought in mold, right? That might be the question.
Well,
Did you just bring in
yeah,
mold?
true. Well,
Right.
I did, but we could probably squirt it with some type of like chemical scent so that, kind of like with other insects, it's like, okay, this one's not a threat because we designated it not a threat because the scent is neutral now. So it is not, something like that. So yes, you probably have been hit with something just for your own
You just
security.
can't go anywhere without getting squirted on, can you?
Yes,
No,
exactly.
I don't know about that. That's Dukin's thing. If we're gonna be smart people, I'm constantly like, puffing out little
That's right.
spores and-
Well, you see, that's the interesting thing. We're gonna get back to this. Something tells me that Protector Hiver has come back a little too cosmopolitan for the tastes of the hive. You came back with alien thoughts.
Yes.
And mold. So
Yes.
I'm kind of getting the picture here. I'm playing the rest of the hive, and the rest of the hive's hive mind is kind of wondering if you're still part of it. But that's
Well, Mercap, or Hiver Doken, Hiver will say that Hiver's at a existential precipice. That we cannot continue to swarm, mulch, and swarm, and that is why Hiver is here. Hiver cannot continue to sustain, and there needs to be a new way. Perhaps Mercap Hivers can coexist with Hivers and make new hive that is stronger and better.
aha. Well, I think that the metamorphosis and the emergence of the new emissary is probably going to be where we discover if you are making any sense. Yeah. So that we are going to watch this process of the mulch and the rapid forced
Yes.
growth of this particular larva into the new emissary, right? Is the question. So that should be kind of fun to watch. Kind of wish we had somebody who could draw it, but anyway, so that's happening. And now we have what we have is my notes.